Security is the degree of resistance to, or protection from, harm. It applies to any vulnerable and valuable asset, such as a person, dwelling, community, item, nation, or organization. As noted by the Institute for Security and Open Methodologies in the OSSTMM 3, security provides a form of protection where a separation is created between the assets and the threat. These separations are generically called controls, and sometimes include changes to the asset of the threat. Security is said to have two dialogues. Negative dialogue is about danger, risk, threat, etc. Positive dialogue is about opportunities, interests, profits, etc. Negative dialogue needs military equipment, armies, or police. Positive dialogue needs social capital, education, or social interaction. Perceived security compared to real security. Perception of security may be poorly mapped to measurable objective security. For example, the fear of earthquakes has been reported to be more common than the fear of slipping on the bathroom floor, although the latter kills many more people than the former. Similarly, the perceived effectiveness of security measures is sometimes different from the actual security provided by those measures. The presence of security protections may even be taken for the safety itself. For example, two computer security programs could be interfering with each other and even cancelling each other's effect, while the owner believes he is getting double the protection. Security theater is a critical term for deployment of measures primarily aimed at raising subjective security without a genuine or commensurate concern for the effects of that action on real safety. For example, some consider the screening of airline passengers based on static databases to have been security theater and the computer-assisted passenger pre-screening system to have created a decrease in objective security. Perception of security can increase objective security when it affects or deters malicious behavior, as with visual signs of security protections, such as video surveillance, alarm systems in a home, or an anti-theft system in a car, such as a vehicle tracking system, a warning sign, since some intruders will decide not to attempt to break into such areas of vehicles. There can be less damage to windows in addition to protection of valuable objects inside. Without such advertisement, an intruder might, for example, approach a car, break the window, and then flee in response to an alarm being triggered. Either way, perhaps the car itself and the objects inside aren't stolen, but with perceived security even the windows of the car have a low chance of being damaged. Categorizing security. There is an immense literature on the analysis and categorization of security. Part of the reason for this is that, in most security systems, the weakest link in the chain is the most important. The situation is asymmetric since the defender must cover all points of attack while the attacker need only identify a single weak point upon which to concentrate. Operations security is a complement to other traditional security measures that evaluates the organization from an adversarial perspective. Security concepts. Certain concepts recur throughout different fields of security. Assurance. Assurance is the level of guarantee that a security system will behave as expected. Countermeasure. A countermeasure is a way to stop a threat from triggering a risk event. Defense in depth. Never rely on one single security measure alone. Risk. A risk is a possible event which could cause loss. Threat. A threat is a method of triggering a risk event that is dangerous. Vulnerability. A weakness in a target that can potentially be exploited by a security threat. Exploit. A vulnerability that has been triggered by a threat, a risk of 1.0. Home security. Home security is something applicable to all of us and involves the hardware in place on a property, and personal security practices. The hardware would be the doors, locks, alarm systems, lighting that is installed on your property. Personal security practices would be ensuring doors are locked, alarms activated, windows closed, and many other routine tasks which act to prevent a burglary. Computer security. Computer security, also known as cyber security or IT security, is security applied to computing devices such as computers and smartphones, as well as computer networks such as private and public networks, including the whole Internet. The field includes all 5 components: hardware, software, data, people, and procedures by which digital equipment, information and services are protected from unintended or unauthorized access, change or destruction, and is of growing importance due to the increasing reliance of computer systems in most societies. It includes physical security to prevent theft of equipment and information security to protect the data on that equipment. Those terms generally do not refer to physical security, but a common belief among computer security experts is that a physical security breach is one of the worst kinds of security breaches, as it generally allows full access to both data and equipment. Security management in organizations. In the corporate world, various aspects of security are historically addressed separately, notably by distinct and often non-communicating departments for IT security, physical security, and fraud prevention. Today there is a greater recognition of the interconnected nature of security requirements, an approach variously known as holistic security, all hazards management, and other terms. Inciting factors in the convergence of security disciplines include the development of digital video surveillance technologies and the digitization and networking of physical control systems. Greater interdisciplinary cooperation is further evidenced by the February 2005 creation of the Alliance for Enterprise Security Risk Management, a joint venture including leading associations in security, information security, and IT audit. In 2007, the International Organization for Standardization released ISO 28000 Security Management Systems for the Supply Chain. Although the title supply chain is included, this standard specifies the requirements for a security management system, including those aspects critical to security assurance for any organization or enterprise wishing to manage the security of the organization and its activities. ISO 28000 is the foremost risk-based security system and is suitable for managing both public and private regulatory security, customs and industry-based security schemes and requirements.